Hey guys, welcome back to the Living in Tacoma channel. Phil Walsh, licensed real estate broker with Skyline Properties Inc. I'm my buddy over here.
Addie Nat, your money guy, hooking you up with the loans and helping you out, always having your back.
He's going to sort out the financials. He's going to dial you in on the what you can spend, your budget, monthly payments, etc., etc. I'm going to help you find a house. So today we're going to talk about some of the top things to do in Puyallup. Puyallup, population of about 43,000, 45,000. You're looking about maybe an hour south of Seattle, 20 minutes from Tacoma, 15 minutes from JBLM to the south of us, and about 45 minutes Olympia to the south as well. So Puyallup, it's a hidden, we have a lot of great stuff and a few hidden gems you might not have heard about without us doing it. But the first town thing, hometown feel. Mm-hmm. It's a hometown feel in Puyallup, Addy, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'd like to jump in really quick and just say we had a great client that was relocating from Hawaii. Believe it or not, some people are done with Hawaii.
And we had the great client together.
So they were analyzing Portland and Seattle, and they chose this town. That's saying a lot.
From Hawaii.
That's huge.
Job done, right? Just an FYI, compared to last year, in January of last year, there were 53 homes sold. This year, with 33. Last year, they were getting under contract, not sold, getting under contract for after probably 2 days. This time in March of 2023, April, May, it's coming into about 7 days to 14 days just for the housing market, okay? But if you're relocating to Puyallup, we've got your back, okay? Mm-hmm. So let me give you a heads up. Number one. An awesome hidden gem that if you don't know it's there, it's not advertised well, but it's been there forever and a day. It's Mike and Terry's Outdoor Fun Park. Check out the video and photographs as we're going through this video. It's got the go-karts, it's got batting cages, and it's got mini golf and a concession stand with plenty of parking. It's got something for everybody on either the weekends, and they're open late on the evenings, especially during the summer months. They've been there forever and a day. It's a really, really great family-friendly, kids of all ages, adults if you're doing the softball teams, to go down there. It's just a phenomenal place. Now, these are in no order. There are honest and humble opinions, but I'd like to go straight into that because if you don't know it's there, you're going to miss it. It's basically on a corner past 512, so you might wonder what it is, but how do you get there? You got to go across the river bridge, over the river in Puyallup, take a right, and it's just up by Cockrell Hard Cider. So Mike and Terry's Outdoor Fun Park. Check out the video, check out the pics. It's a really family fun place to go.
And this is huge, you know. We were talking about it on another video, Phil. The kids are so glued into the screens.
Yep, 100%.
Throw down the iPads for a couple hours. Let's do a family thing. Build some memories. Let's build some memories.
Listen, it's getting them off the couch. It's getting them off the iPhones. It's getting them off the tablet. Get active. Just get out there. Come on. And that's what I love about this little town called Puyallup, okay? Yeah. Family friendly, lots to do. And like I said, one of these things is Mike and Terry's Fun Outdoor Park. It really is a great spot to pop down there. Brilliant. And you can go down there every weekend and do something different. It's phenomenal. Yeah. Okay. We'll just move on to the second one. If retail is your cup of tea, we have that small town home field, but there is something for everybody down there. There's a couple of eclectic boutique shops in the downtown Puyallup area. We also have South Hill Mall. Meridian, which runs all the way up from downtown Puyallup up through to Graham. That's the main thoroughfare that runs through. You've got the usual shops up and down there, and then you have the South Hill Mall just at the top of the hill. It's not the largest mall, it's not as big as the Tacoma Mall, but there is something for everybody down there. So, like I said, not too much into detail about the retail, but like I said, small town home field, something for everybody,
and
right?
It's there. We got that. We had a Zoom call the other day, and the wife was like, I need to have my shopping. I don't have an issue or a spending problem, but that is her way of doing something for herself. You know, getting out there, just checking it out, looking at the local
it's
places.
There, it's available. It's there on your doorstep if you want it. You don't have to travel the 20, 30 miles to go to a big mall or whatever. Totally. Because traffic sucks a little bit up here. We've mentioned that in another video. So South Hill Mall, right on your doorstep. Another really eclectic boutique shops in downtown Puyallup.
Nailed it.
One of the other things that I'd like to mention is the Mika Mansion, which is in downtown Puyallup. Check out the pictures. Didn't do a tour, but obviously tours are available. Ezra Mika, he was our first mayor of Puyallup way back when in the day. And then, Eliza Jane Mika, just look at a few notes. This mansion, well, they call it a mansion. Back in the day, it was a mansion. Now you'd call it, kind of a decent sized house, so to speak. But it's been restored. If you're into the history, if you're into finding out exactly what Puyallup was way back in the day, before obviously it became 43,000 people, when it was mostly farmlands, and how Puyallup was created, then it's an awesome thing to do for those history buffs. And when family and friends come to visit as well, there's nothing better than saying, hey, I'm in Puyallup. Holy moly, what? How do you pronounce it? We'll go into that in a little bit. But the Mika Mansion downtown in Puyallup, an awesome little place for history, right?
People love the Victorian stuff. And, once again, I hate to repeat myself, another family thing that's not on an iPad. Just go to just a little quick afternoon, go to the park after the kids learn something, you did something new.
Teach the kids a little bit of history, where they come from, with a heritage, please, not those games. All right?
Candy Crush.
It's well worth a visit, 2 floors, lovely grounds right in the heart of downtown Puyallup, okay? Another thing that I'd like to mention about Puyallup, Food Truck Fridays.
Let's go.
Food trucks, a huge favorite of most people, a little bit eclectic, a little bit different. You're out, especially during those summer months. And the food trucks also come into play for the farmers market on a Saturday, which we'll talk about in a bit, okay? So I'm going to read these off because you got to memorize them. We got Flavorworks, Asian fusion inspired Hawaiian and Filipino cuisine. We got the Starvin' Marvin food truck, okay? American burgers and hot dogs. We got the famous Dick's Drive-In, which obviously catering for their burgers. Just a Pizza My Mind, kind of cool. And we have the Action Food Truck, Southern Barbecue, Sabrina's Street Melts, Sandwiches, and Comfort Foods. Now, not only you can go down and use these on Food Truck Fridays, and obviously during the farmers market on a Saturday, on a Friday specifically, they have the Scallops Food Truck, a cockerel hard cider. One of my favorites. I love seafood, used to live in the Caribbean and the Greek islands, lived all over the world, but for me, that's one of the best. Now, tying in with that, on a family evening, and especially during a farmer's market, if you want to get a glass of wine, if you want to get a beer, you want to sit back and use these food trucks rather than a sit-in restaurant, it's phenomenal, laddie. Really, really cool.
I love that. My wife and I are big on that. We break up the week, and instead of sitting there like, oh, what do you want? Oh, what do you want? What do you want? You can't decide on a restaurant. By the time you decide, the reservations are full. Head down to the food truck. The wife and I pick 2 or 3 things. We share. We do a little nibbles, grab a cider or a glass of wine.
It's something different. You're out in the open, like I said. It's something.
The kiddos can run crazy at the little park.
And to have that in that small town, normally it's like Seattle and the big cities, and then in the big cities, there obviously there's the street where they're specifically at and the vendors, and that's every day. But for us to have the ability at least once a week to to get down and taste these food trucks and to keep them in business, which I think is awesome, locally crafted. Okay. One of the big ones coming up next is the Washington State Fair. It's about the 5th largest fair in the United States, around about 1.2 million visitors per year. Has something for everybody. It runs from September the 1st through till I think about September the 24th. It's huge. It's massive. Check out the video. Check out the drone footage. Like, it's something to be. Now, we took this drone footage when there was nothing going on, because I wanted to give you the size of what's going on. Further on down the line, the September of this year, we'll shoot another video of the actual fair itself. Fairs are fairs, the same, the world round, especially across America, but brings in a lot of business, brings in a lot of revenue. I mean, for the local towns, the local shops, everything associated with Puyallup on that month of September is awesome. And we also have a load of concerts that come through as well. You've been to the fair, Eddie, you like the fair, right?
Yeah, and I feel like the fair really threads the community together, because though September is the premier event, there are events throughout the year. And it's always something to look forward to. So it's so cool. Like, oh, in my backyard, you tell the kids, hey, in 2 weeks we have this. You better be good, because we're going to go down there. Another asterisk I'll put on it too, I love that they actually have parking.
Oh,
they
huge.
Actually have most fairs. It's a joke, but this place, the parking is bigger than the large park. It's awesome.
And one of the funny things is the local houses, if they have a lot, like if they have a large garden, so to speak, or whatever, you'll see these flaggers out there, $10, $15, $5. So a lot of the people, whether legal or not, I don't know, don't quote me on this, they're making a little bit of extra money during that month of September for the parking thing. It's very accommodating, and it's an awesome thing to do and to go down there. So they also have the Taste of Northwest from June the 30th through till July the 2nd, Spring Fair from April the 13th to the 16th, and 20th to 23rd. And like I said, there's always something going on. We've mentioned this before. You have all of these conventions going down there, RV conventions. You've got hot tub conventions, kind of a little bit weird.
Hot tub.
I know. You have a lot of agricultural shows down there. There's other kids and there's other kids things to do down. There's something always going on. So there's an itinerary, and to have that in a small town like Puyallup, which is 43,000 people. It's awesome. A lot to do, and it's all actually a really great attraction for you for Puyallup, and a great place for you guys to relocate over here. Okay?
Well, and Phil, a lot of people, when you reach out and you book that initial Zoom call with us, which is super important, give us a call, give us a text, give us an email so we can get to know you guys. But a lot of situations, people have a scheduled visit, or they're trying to figure out, hey, Phil, Addie, I'm going to come up and visit. I'm going to grab an Airbnb. I want to check out these different areas. And we can really consult and build a customized kind of hotspot list. Oh, hey, there's this going on. We're going to bring you over here. Phil is going to meet you at this time. And that is really, really important. We integrate all these highlights into your personal plan when they visit.
And again, this is just us giving personal opinions and free advice about what's going on to give you a bigger picture, to give you an idea of what it's like if you're relocating to Puyallup, if you're moving across country, if you're moving international. Holy moly, sounds an awesome little place to come and live. So one of the other things I like to mention as well, downtown, just off Pioneer Park, we have obviously the public library. Now, obviously, during the pandemic, everybody's indoors, all the rest of it, and everything was online and Zoom, and the kids were pulling their hair out, parents were pulling their hair out. It was like, holy moly, what's going on here? So the downtown library in Puyallup, like I said, just off Pioneer Square, they've opened up a lot more stuff since the pandemic has closed to get the kids out of the house, to give you guys a breather. Pioneer Square, we're going to mention a little bit about the farmers market and some of the restaurants and bars and coffee shops down there. But to name but a few in the Puyallup library, and there's an events list, obviously you can go online and take a look at it, but this is specifically for your kids, for learning, for education, to get them back out of the house, meet new people, new friends, okay? You've got the Play to Learn, you've got Young Black and Brilliant Book Club, you've got the Master Gardeners Lunch and Learn, Great Decisions Lunch and Learn, a book club of one's own, in my own words, by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You have the weekly story time, Toddler Treasures and Little Learners, and you have community resources for seniors. They've kind of tried to tick the box on everything across the board, from the toddlers to the seniors.
Right.
Now that sort of life is in somewhat way back to normal. It's reopened. It's downtown Puyallup, easy access, local parking is right there. And I love the fact that they're actually trying to reach everybody from the toddlers to the seniors, something for everybody, right?
Yeah, super safe area too. You're going to go down there and you'll be right in downtown. You grab a coffee, the park's right there. You're going to feel safe. You're going to enjoy it, easy to plug into. And once again, things for your kids to do and a community to plug into.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Leading on from the library, and you'll see this in the video, is every Saturday we have the farmers market.
Right.
Nothing better than the farmers market with all the local vendors, artisan stands, the local meat produce, the fresh, the fresh flowers, the veggies, the whole shebang gets absolutely packed out. Right there and there on Pioneer Park as well is the 𝐾𝐨 Splash Club. Check out the video, check out the pics. Like I said, Mum, go check out the, Mum, I'm gonna go check out these vendors. Dad goes, oh good Lord. We're just gonna chuck the kids in the splash park, sit down in the shade, and we'll watch them. Farmers market, anywhere you are in the world, if you have a farmers market, you know exactly what they're like.
Yeah.
And again, for the small town home feel that we are in Puyallup, to have that every Saturday, it's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Nailed it.
Moving on from that, we've got a variety of antique stores down there in Puyallup. If that's your cup of tea, you got family and friends visiting. There's a lot more antique stores just about 15 minutes away in Sumner, which is another local village. But downtown Puyallup, there's about 3 or 4 of the local antique stores that have been there forever and a day. We might do another video getting a couple of interviews with these local people who started their businesses, 30, 40 years ago, to give you some perspective of, number one, how Puyallup has grown, but still has that hometown feel, okay? Also, during the summer months, one of the favorite things that I like is to get we go about this in most of our videos, get the kids off the couch, get them off the tablets and phones, and get out there. There's a lot of farms out there. Storino Farms, we have the Schultz Farm, we have the Maris Farms, and we also have the pumpkin patches. So, for example, October, you go pick your own pumpkins, you have the catapults, the whole shebang. It's geared towards that family-friendly, get off the couch, get out there. And that fresh produce during the summer, nothing better. No offense to the supermarkets, but 10 times out of 10, I'm going down to the local farms, right?
Yep.
One of the other things, if you're pooch friendly, Well, hopefully so. I've got an absolutely nut of a dog. His name is PD. He's a rescue from Texas. We thought he was a Rhodesian Ridgeback. He's actually a cross between a German Shepherd and a boxer. Now we can see the boxer side coming out of him. Check out this picture. Trust me on that. So for us, with the pooch-friendly family, there's a lot of dog parks. There's a lot of parks where you can safely walk the dog. There's a lot of dog parks off leash in Puyallup. You know, rain, snow, whatever the weather is, there's a lot of time to get out there and do these walks. There's the 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Park down there. There's Bradley Lake Park, which has about a mile loop. Not only for that, again, we go back to the pandemic when everybody was, everybody put on a wee bit of weight right there. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Me included. But getting out there every day, getting that pooch and walking bit, there's a lot. And again, these things in Puyallup, because of that hometown feel, it's all right on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I live just on the top of the hill in South Hill. I've got 4 or 5 dog parks all within 15 minutes. All within 15 minutes. And if I wanted to get out further, like I said, which moves us on to our next thing about, we're called the Washington, we're called the Evergreen State for a reason. Puyallup. About 3 of the national parks we have: Cascade, Olympia, and Mount Rainier. Okay, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Again, getting out there for the weekends. Puyallup, you kind of thing it's bang centrally located for the activities and for the family for getting out there. Mount Rainier is actually still an active volcano, believe it or not. Now I'm saying, why am I relocating to Puyallup, Philip? It's active. It hasn't erupted since, I think, the 1200s. Addy, maybe it's due for another eruption. I don't know. But funny enough, we do have these evacuation signs. Check out the pic. Just in case Mount Rainier to erupt again. And you have spectacular views, especially during the summer months, of Mount Rainier, about 14,700 feet, I think. So those Olympic parks, the national parks, right on your doorstep again for getting out there, okay? Now, if bowling is your thing, how do you like bowling?
I'm not very good at it.
No, well, me neither, but apparently, unfortunately, it's an American not unfortunately, I beg your pardon, I'm sorry. It's an American pastime. We've got the Daffodil Bowling down on Main in Puyallup. That's an older place, phenomenally busy, very, very, I think it has about 35 lanes. They actually do some really great food in there. We go down there, we always get a pizza. It's absolutely phenomenal. And there's a new one down there called Round One, and that's in South Hill Mall. They only have about maybe 7 to 10 lanes there, so it's a lot smaller. And I class that, rather than the old school bowling club, it's like an arcade, it's like an amusement park. So there's a lot of these fairground machines for the kids and stuff. But brand new, literally, just opened last year. So we have two bowling clubs in Puyallup. Moving on to the Sounder Train,
Yep.
Eddie.
Love the Sounder Train.
Any of the sports out of the Seattle, any of the franchises, the Mariners, the Seahawks, the Kraken, and the Sounders. Sounder Train out of Puyallup, 35 minutes, you're up there, job done.
You're
What could
not
be better?
driving, go to a game. You don't have to worry about the drinking and the driving back.
Nope.
It's perfect, and that station's very safe. Very safe.
It also includes, obviously, if you're commuting and not driving. So for Puyallup to have the ability to commute up to Seattle,
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. Pop in the iPods, job done. You're good to go.
You're not sitting in
Okay?
traffic, watch Netflix, catch up on emails, whatever you need.
Nothing
Super
like that.
convenient.
And one of the last things, which is about a 45-minute. I've actually got a cousin coming over from the UK. She's on I was going to say an Antarctic cruise. She's on an Alaska cruise, and she's coming back to Seattle, so she's going to spend a day with us. Is Snoqualmie Falls. It's about a 45-minute drive from Puyallup, so it's not too far away. The falls are spectacular. You have the Sahalish Lodge up there, kind of pricey, with a restaurant, bar, and you can stay over, and there's obviously the massage and stuff, and the spa. But the falls are spectacular. Viewing point at the top. You can walk all the way down if you want. Walking down, you're going down takes about half an hour. Coming back up takes about 2 hours. Just kidding. But then you also have just further away from that, it's Snoqualmie town itself. Very picturesque, quaint, old town, like really old town, like the western feel to it, which has antique shops, cafes, which I'm going to take you to, because for me, it seems like the quintessential old American town. Very small, very close-knit, all in there. So Snoqualmie Falls, another thing if you're living in Puyallup to know about.
That's good.
Job done, eh?
Just nailed it.
So, guys, listen, we're here for you. We're here to earn your business. Give us a call, shoot us a text, jump on a Zoom, whatever it is. Let's just get in touch, and we've got your back. Sound good?
Sounds great to me.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.